All right, we are going to finish the eyes using our ChromaFusion eyeshadows. Our ChromaFusion formula lasts for over 12 hours. They call it life proof. It lasts through weather, workouts, and work. All right, and today's look is Golden Moss. It's one of the looks put together by makeup artists. And and so I'm using our Perfect palette. And one thing I want to show you before I start putting them on is the brush collection. So the tools make all the difference in the world. I used to think that tools were like for the professionals, and I'm just gonna use this little sponge tip because that's for the people who aren't professionals. And I'm just telling you, this sponge tip makes everything hard. You can't blend, it's just too hard. So toss the sponge tips and get some good tools. They really make all the difference, and it's so easy, and it's a much more blended, pretty final look. All right, so our brush collection comes in a pouch. You can get the brushes that are inside a la carte, but the way it comes is the 3 eye brushes, the cheek brush, and the all over powder brush. I'm about to use these 4, and then the powder brush I already used before we started. All right, so the 3 brushes are, oh, just so you know too, if you price compare, like itemize each of the brushes and then what a cute little pouch would be, oh my gosh, this is such a good price for 5 brushes, including a pouch. And it has this flap, so you can put whatever you want in the back. So I have some extra brushes, but you could put liners and mascaras, so there's room for more. All right, so the 3 brushes, we're gonna start with this crease brush. You can see that it's got a little bit of an angle. And let's start there. Now I'm gonna do something a little out of the ordinary and start with the dark color. Now I use that when teaching. In my regular day-to-day habit, I start with the lightest and go to dark. But if you're kind of getting used to darks and they're a little intimidating, you're about to see why. I say start with it because then you can blend it away. All right, what we're gonna do, let me give you a little rule first, is where not to go. That's the key with makeup. So if you took a pencil or whatever and drew a line from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, and it goes to the corner of your brow, that is like a little wall. You don't want your eyeshadow to go past there. You could if you were doing creative things, but we're talking everyday makeup. So what happens is that a lot of people, what they do is, let me just grab this brush. They do this rainbow motion with their eyeshadow, and that last little boop, it goes past that wall, and it drags their eye down and it makes them look tired. Okay, so if you find out of habit you go past that wall, just you can clean it up afterwards, and you'll be amazed at how much of an eye lift you give yourself just by staying inside. One of the things that you can do is start there versus finish. So that's what I'm gonna show you how to do. So I'm gonna take this angled crease brush with the green, so I dipped it in the moss. And this color, see how I'm starting on that outside corner, that wall that I don't want to go past, and I'm going, lift your eyebrows a little bit, and it's not in the crease, it's actually above the crease. You want to be able to see this color when you open your eyes. Now right now it just looks like a big smudge, but we're gonna blend it. Okay, so that's the top part, and then we're gonna grab a little bit more and then drag it down so it's like a little sideways V. Notice I don't do flicking motions. It's not back and forth rubbing like a windshield wiper, and it's not flicking. It's you push the brush and then we're just doing a little bit of drag. Later you'll see us swirl, and that's where the dark color goes. Looking a little extra dark like a splotch, that's okay, we haven't blended yet. And obviously, I'm ivory skin tone, but all of this color application and these colors, they can either work on lots of skin tones or be converted. So that's why you have a personal consultant say, okay, what would be a good contour for me? What's a good highlight or a mid-tone for me? So that's where that personal relationship with your consultant comes into play. Also, everyone has different eye shapes. So you might have deep set eyes, you might have, close set, wide set, hooded, all different eye shapes. There's a few rules, recommendations. Remember, we're all artists, okay? So there's no rules, but a recommendation may be for where, again, not to go. That's the key with makeup. So if you have deep set eyes, think about deep. It's almost like you have God-given eyeshadow, right? So it's already dark where the deepness would be. Well, then we don't really need to add a lot of dark color, because what does dark color do? It causes a recession, right? It causes the deepness. And so just little things like that. So we'll help you with that individually, and there's little cheat sheets for different eye shapes. But in general, dark colors recede. They're called contour. Then we're going to go to the mid-tone, just a easy mid color. Now in this look, this is gold status. That's the mid-tone. It's actually, I use it more like a highlighter, but this is a really simple look. Very, very simple. So we're going to take this all over eyeshadow brush. You can see it's a little bit wider and fluffier. And pat. Patting is the key. So pat it in the middle. It's on the eyelid and into the crease. Okay, so pat, and then you kind of swirl. I feel like we do the dance with our brushes. Pat, swirl, wiggle. And you can see that I'm kind of overlapping a little bit where that green was. I'm not covering it completely, but there is a little bit of overlap. All right, and then the smudger brush. You can see that that is pointed. It has a whole lot more control, and it's very specific where this color is going. So we're gonna do the highlight. Now highlight's the opposite of the contour, and so it's gonna brighten. It's gonna bring attention and space, or create space. So the inside corner is usually where people want some brightening. So that's where we're gonna put some biscotti. And then some people go a little bit too crazy with underneath the eyebrows. I have this eyebrow, there we go. So you don't want to cover everything that you just did and bring all this bright all the way down. It's just enough to kind of give your eyebrow a little bit lift. Now, so we put everything in its place, but now we want to blend. And so there's a blending brush. You can see how poofy that one is. Again, don't take it out here because you're going to drag your color too far. So what I do is I start on that outside corner and blend it towards the middle, and just kind of swirl. It's a clean brush, so you're not adding any more color. So again, a very, very simple look. Okay, let's do simple cheeks. In our Flawless Finish class, where we do foundations and powders and concealers, we give a lot of tips about, well, not a lot, but just more tips about this cheek brush that I love, and contouring and highlighting. But just for now, we're gonna use this cheek brush and get a little color, and you literally just are going to tap on the top of your cheekbone. Start here, not in the temples. Remember, makeup is where not to go for everyday makeup. Not in the temples, not below the level of the nose, and not inside the pupil area, okay? So there's just this little window right here. That's gonna give you a facelift. So we're gonna start here and kind of go towards the apple and swirl, right? So it's not a lot, it's just a little facelift, keeping it high. Look how much higher that side of my face looks. That is wild. Okay, so again, this is just basic cheek color, but it's on the ridge of your cheekbone. We got that? All right, let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you. Of course, oh my gosh, mascara. All right, so just want to show you really quick about the palettes. This is the Perfect palette. It does have a mirror. You can see it has an open side. This is all magnetic. Oh, well, let's see. You can put little tiny brushes in here. We have palette size brushes, or you could create a whole new look. And it's all geometric. So when you pop it out, you can pop different colors in. You could have any kind of combination that you want to create. There's also the Petite palette, and it just holds 4 eyeshadows, and this is a window, it's not a mirror. And then, of course, I showed you my Pro palette before. All right, mascaras, let's top it off. So we have 6 formulas of mascara with 5 different wands. So again, work with your personal consultant to find out what you think would be the best for you. Everyone has their favorites, and it runs the gamut, truly, of all the formulas. We have waterproof, that's very specific need for that. Lash Love Lengthening is the most natural looking mascara. It does have the word lengthen, but a lot of mascaras give length. Very natural for the Lash Love Lengthening. And then there's the Ultimate, that's one of my favorites, and it's volumizing, and it also comes in black brown. And then one of my other favorites, this is one I'm going to show you, is lash intensity. And it is obviously the most intense. So it's going to give volume, length, all of it. The other ones, Lash Love, Fanorama, just, oh my gosh, there's so many good mascaras and all different ones. But this one has actually two different wands in one. So one of the sides gives length and one gives volume. So we're going to start with the volume side. And when you put mascara on, for all of them, rather than going over and over and over and over again, we're going to be very particular and hold the wand in this spot. I almost forgot to tell you that we don't pump, okay? So you're going to twist, pull out, get a little off the edge. Okay, it's a dark, wet environment. If you pump the air and all the particles in the air back in there, your mascara is gonna get bad quickly. In fact, in the beauty industry, they say you should replace your mascara every 3 months because of that environment that's created in there. All right, so notice I'm pushing up and then just doing a little wiggle all the way out. Push up, do a little wiggle. So this is the lash intensity that's creating volume first, and then I'm gonna twist the wand. Well, I have some that are having a little mind of their own right now. And then lengthen, there we go. So that is the lash intensity. And of course, then you can do the bottom, that's really easy, but hold, wiggle all the way to the end, and then grab your tips. All right, one more video to go.